Hi, I'm Steph Wild. I'm a yoga teacher on mytxo.com, and today I'm going to share with you my tips and tricks on how to include handstands and inversions in your yoga practice. But first, before we begin, don't forget to subscribe so that you do not miss any new content that we upload. All right. To begin with, including inversions and handstands in your yoga practice is wonderful because it teaches us a few things. We're learning how to challenge ourselves, we're improving our upper body strength, and we're also working on our balance and proprioception, which is our ability to know where our body is in space. Now, the first thing I'd like to show you is how to safely practice handstands against a wall. And this is going to help you build your confidence. So you want to find a wall that is sturdy with no pictures or anything that can fall on you, because safety is our #1 priority here. And also you want to make sure that you do feel strong and confident in your yoga practice before you progress to inversions and handstands. So you've got a nice sturdy wall, and I want you to set your yoga mat up against the wall. Now you're going to measure from your fingertips to your elbow, and where your elbow is where you're going to place your hands on the mat. Now, the first way that I love to teach inversions is by coming up into downward facing dog and just checking in with your downward facing dog technique. First and foremost, you want to make sure that you're pressing your mat away from you, almost pretending like you're up in a strong handstand, even when you're just here in downward facing dog. Keep those elbows wrapping back towards you and those shoulders really strong. Really important that when we go upside down, that you do not bend your elbows, because you may land on your head, and we don't want that. So transitioning from downward facing dog to the forward fold at the top end of the mat is something we do all the time in Vinyasa Yoga, and transitioning via a jump can be a really fun way to do this. Now bring your feet together so that they're touching. Rise up high on your tippy toes and start to tiptoe your feet all the way up to your hands. And what we're aiming for here is our bottom to be right above our hands. And this feeling of your weight on top of your arms is what we're going to feel when we're upside down. So doing that a few times to get used to that feeling is really important. When you're ready to proceed and give the inversions a little go, start by bringing your feet together, rise up high on your tippy toes. Walk your feet forwards a little bit so you start to feel that weight on your hands, keeping your arms really strong. Bend your knees, gaze forward between your thumbs, and you're going to kick your heels nice and tight in towards your bottom, finding a tuck, and your feet can touch the wall behind you. From here, if you get your feet to the wall, squeeze through your glutes, push through your arms even more, and we're aiming for a straight line from our wrists, through our arms and through our body. And then when you're ready, floating back down. Bend your knees as you come back down. So it may take you a few goes to be able to get your feet to touch the wall. Common way to begin is like this, just kicking yourself in the bottom. And then as you build your confidence, you'll find that you can get more weight over your hands each time. You may even be able to get a little bit of hang time at the top and see how you feel. And that wall is always there for you if you need it. So that's a great way to begin, adding in inversions and jumping to the top end of your mat into your practice. It's a really good cardio workout as well. Now, another way to get into a handstand is via three-legged dog. Same thing, you want to make sure that your hands are placed arm's length away from the wall, so from fingertip to elbow, that's where your hands go. Spread your fingers out wide, strong foundation through your hands and your wrists. You can always check out our other videos on downward facing dog and wrist technique. Come into your downward facing dog and then come into a three-legged dog, so lifting one leg up in the air behind you. Try not to let your top leg turn out, so keep it parallel and imagine that you're magnetizing your inner thighs towards each other. Push firmly through your arms, rise up high on your tippy toes and bend your knees. Gaze between your thumbs, and we're going to come up into an L shape with the legs. So up and down, up and down. And see if you can get a little bit of hang time. And then once again, that wall is there to catch you if you go a little bit too far. So this is another really great way to practice. You may begin with just little bunny hops, and as you build your confidence, getting up a little bit higher. Now there's one more way we can practice handstands, and we're going to face the other way on our mat now. First of all though, you're going to sit on your bottom and measure the distance between your feet. So we're going to measure from our hips to our feet at the wall. Where your hips are is where your hands are going to go. So keep note of that. Turn around, place your hands where your hips were, and then bring the soles of your feet all the way up against the wall. From here, push firmly through your arms and lift up into a downward facing dog with your feet against the wall. Check in with your shoulders, press away from the mat, and then start to crawl your feet up the wall and see if you can straighten your legs so that your hips are above your hands. From here, maybe rise up high on your tippy toes, so we're getting more weight over our hands into our arms, maybe even lifting one leg up into the air, and then maybe the other, and then slowly coming down. Now, a common mistake I see when people try to do this one is that they keep their bottom too close to the wall and are a little bit hesitant to get their hips up and over their hands. And what can happen is people slide down the wall and say, it's not working. So make sure that you straighten your legs and then build your confidence up that way. All right, it's really tough work on the shoulders and wrists. It's a really strong upper body workout when we move into inversions and handstands. So please do what works for you. Ensure that you always feel safe, and you could always practice more downward dogs. That's going to help you build your confidence in turning your yoga practice upside down. I hope that you found these tips really helpful. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and if you'd like to take my whole yoga program, head to mytxo.com. Bye for now.